Hi, welcome back. In the previous session, we have discussed about loop and we have done couple of problems in loop, like primary, whether a number is prime or not, some of numbers, some of the digits of a number, palindrome of a number and all. Okay. So today in this session, we'll be talking about nested loop, right? So nested loop is a concept where we can have a loop inside another loop, and the level at which we can go is an end time. There is no restriction to it. Right? So we can write one particular loop. Inside that loop, in the block of that loop, we can have another loop. Okay, and inside that particular loop also we can have another loop. So we can just simply we can nested down the loop or n number of times. As I told you, there is no kind of restriction till what n we can have the nested loop itself. Okay, and apart from that, it is something like that we can have for inside a for loop, or we can have a while inside a for loop. We can have what is a for inside a while loop, like that itself. So let us try to understand more these details into nested loop, because nested loops helps us in order to do lot of problems, application like two-dimensional arrays, matrix itself. Okay, some patterns that if you want to do sorting of algorithms and all. So understanding the nested loop, working of the nested loop is very, very important. Okay, so let us move. First, let us understand the nesting in terms of two loop. So if you see here, I have mentioned I have not used any for loop and while loop, okay, or do while loop, and I just simply mention it as a loop. So let me say this loop A, okay. Inside this there is another loop B, okay, right? And you can see this loop A is starting from this and loop B is starting from this, right? So you can see loop B, which we call it as the innermost, okay, and then we have the loop A, which is called as the outermost. So when the loop A will start, okay, when the loop A first it will start, then it will come down and the loop B will start, and till the loop B doesn't get complete, okay, it will continue. The loop B will continue, right? Once the loop B is completed, it will move to the next, okay, next iteration of the loop A. And once it moves to the next iteration of the loop A, again the loop will continue, loop B will continue to iterate till it ends, and then again it will move back to loop A for the next iteration. If you see on the right hand side, as it's written out, loop A starts, then loop B starts, then loop B ends, right? Then loop A next starts, then it moves to the next iteration of the loop A. Again, loop B starts, again, loop B ends, right? Again, loop A will go move into the next iteration, and this will continue till loop A is end. Okay. So let us understand more in terms of, suppose, what is the number of times that is going. Okay. So let us say loop A is going from 1 to 5, okay, and loop B is going to also from 1 to 5. And as you can see, this is the innermost, okay, that is the outermost layer, right? So now, how many times the loop it will run? So loop A is running from 1 to 5, loop B is also running from 1 to 5. So overall, what will be the number of times the loop will going to run? Now, as I was telling, whenever the loop A will start first, the loop will continue. Loop B will start from the first and it will end. So loop A, the first it is starting 1, then loop B will start from 1 to 5. That means 5 times the loop B will be completed, right? Again, we move to loop A. Again, it will move to the second iteration. Again, loop B will start executing from 1 to 5, it will move to 5 times. Again, loop 3, okay, if then again say loop B is again goes from 1 to 5, again 5 times. Then it comes to the fourth iteration of the loop A, again it will move to 5, loop B will go for 5 times. Again, loop A, number 5 item, fifth iteration, loop B start from it. So if you see that loop B is each time is executing 5 times, and right, each time it is executing 5 times. So if you add it up, 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus is equal to 25. That is what we get, right? Yes. And this 25, it is nothing but 5 times the loop B is going, multiplied by the 5 times the loop is going, that 5 into 5, right? So now precisely if you say that loop A, it goes for m times and loop B goes for n times, then we can say the total loops that we're going to execute is m into n. Yes, I hope it is clear. That is, if I loop A is running from 1 to 5 and loop B is running from 1 to 5, you can see on the right hand side, loop B 5 times it has gone. Okay, so if I add it up, it comes into 25, and that is nothing but loop A 5 times into loop B 5 times, so 5 into 5. Okay, so that means if loop A is of m times and loop B is of n times, the total the loop is goes is m into n. Okay, so let us move one step more and let us see one example of nested loop in the algorithm phase. Okay, so if I write for I equal to 1 to 5 do, and for j equal to 1 to 5 do, print hello, then hello will be displayed how many times? 5 into 5 equal to 25 times, right? So similarly, in the right hand side, if I equal to 1 to m and j is equal to 1 to n, do print hello, then hello will be displayed how many times? M into n. Okay, so this must be very, very clear. So we have a two loop. Okay, first loop, outer loop going for m times, inner loop going for n times. So total number of times it is going to execute, okay, the print hello, which is inside the j, j loop itself will be done m into n times. Okay, right? So now what I have done is that I have entered another loop C, okay, which is inside loop B, right? Now can you tell me how it is going to happen? So now it's again the same way, right? If I consider only loop B and loop C, that is two phase, right? So loop B one starts, okay, loop C will continue and it will go to N. Now loop B is inside loop A. Again, that means once I enter from the loop A, okay, the loop B, I enter the loop B, then it goes to loop C. So loop C will continue to complete. Okay, once it complete, it will come to B. Then B loop will complete. Okay, then only it will go back to A. Right? So loop A starts, so loop B starts, then we have loop C starts, loop C ends. Again, loop B will go to the next, okay, and then again C will start. And once the loop B ends, you can see here, B starts, B ends, then the loop A moves into the next start. Okay, so similarly, as if I say loop A is starting from 1 to 5, loop B is starting from 1 to 5, loop C is starting from 1 to 5, right? So how many times it going to run? Okay, you can see here when loop A is 1, okay, value, loop B will be 1 and loop C will go from 1 to 5 times. Okay, then loop C will again go from 1 to 5 times. Again, loop C will go for similarly to that of the two loops, right? So now loop C will be executed how many times? The loop C will be executed how many times? You can see for B from 1 to 5, loop C is gone from 5, so 25 times, right? Then again loop A will go again another 5 times. So how much time it will happen is nothing but it will be, as in the previous we have 5 into 5, right? Here it will be 5 into 5 into 5, which is equal to 125. So if a loop A is having m times and the loop B having n times and loop C having q times, then the total time that will be shown is m into n into q. Okay, yes. So having said this, now here you can see this example for I equal to 1 to 5 do, for j equal to 1 to 5 do, for k equal to 1 to 5 do, printf hello. So hello will be displayed 5 into 5 into 5, that is equal to 125 times, right? So if it is m, it is n, it is q. So this help printf hello will be displayed m into n into q times, right? So as I was telling you, this particular loop itself, okay, has a lot of application when we talk about two-dimensional NM matrix, when you will have a lot of other sorting algorithm like bubble sort, selection sort, insert sort, and all these things, and also patterns like a series of number. If you want to display the series of number, maybe from one one two three four, like that. Okay, in the next line again 1 2 3 4, something like that. Okay, some patterns if you want to do, that this nested loop concepts is very, very important. Okay, so here I hope you have understood. What do you understand by nested loop? Okay, loop inside a loop. I have not talked about any for loop and while loop here. I just simply have given you the loop one, loop A, loop B, okay? And if you see, once you start the loop A, loop, then the loop B will continue to start and it will end, then only the next iteration of loop A starts, right? So if a loop A is starting from 1 to 5, once loop A is 1 and loop B also goes from 1 to 5 to 1 to 5 times the loop B will execute, then only the loop A will goes to into the second iteration itself. That way, if we have calculated and we've seen that if we add it up, it comes out to be 25, right? For a loop A starting from 1 to 5, for a loop starting from 1 to 5. So 5 into 5, which comes 25. So similarly, if you nested more, it will become if 5 and 5 and 5 A B C loop. So it will 5 into 5 into 5. Okay, if you see another D loop, then it will 5 into 5 into 5 into 5, right? So if it is m of iteration m times, n times, and q times, you have seen it is m into q, m into n into q. Okay, right? I hope this nested loop is clear. So in the next session, we'll see some problems on on nested loops.